What's going on, Sumolings? Thank you so much for joining us for another product walkthrough webinar. I am Lindsay, and today I am joined by the team over at Chanty. Chanty is a cloud-based collaboration platform that combines communication, project management, and automation to help teams work together more effectively. It is available on AppSumo right now for a lifetime deal starting at just $69. Before we dive into a walkthrough of the tool, I just want to tell y'all a few quick things for how this works. The first is that if you want to talk to us at all, hi again. We just got out of another webinar. We're doing this all day. No, this is the last one. Hi again, everybody. If you want to say hi, you can do that in the chat room. You can also tell us a little bit about why you're interested in Chanty. Tell us a little bit about your business. We'd love to hear it. And then if you have any questions about the tool, about the deal, how to get set up, anything like that, leave those questions in the Q&A box down below the video. We will circle back to them at the end of the walkthrough. And then the last thing is that there will be a replay of this available, so you can watch this truly as many times as you want. But also if you need to step out, that's okay too. All right, that's it for me. Jared, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for that introduction. It was, I couldn't have done it any better myself. So it's like you worked with us.
I try. I maybe have it memorized and do it.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it. Very professional.
I might be a pro.
I can tell you. I can tell it's not your first webinar.
Not my first webinar. Not my first.
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I'm excited to have you, though. I'm excited to see this walkthrough. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna disappear. And then you let me know when you're ready for questions. We also have Anastasia on standby, everybody, who will also be answering questions for y'all.
Hey there.
Yeah, we have a whole nice, wonderful team. So send your questions in. Whole team. Yeah, send your questions in. And then, yeah, let me know when you're ready. We'll do some Q&A at the end of the walkthrough.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks so much, Lindsay. Really appreciate that. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and pull my screen up straight away and get things started with that. So yeah, what we have is Chanty, as Lindsay introduced us and as Lindsay presented. You know, this is a team collaboration app. This is a space where you can, this is a space where you and your entire team can get things done together. So, you know, if you guys are still doing things like cavemen with emails only and, you know, constantly you're trying to think who's doing what, where's the project at, you know, has this task been completed, and you're having to follow up and follow up and follow up, or wait for 5 days for somebody who, you know, their email box has 2,000 messages in it. This is going to be a solution that's going to help your team get things done a lot faster. It's really going to streamline your processes, and it's going to allow you guys to, you know, there's so many use cases. So I'll try and cover a few that I can think of. And I've got one in particular that I wanted to show you guys. But first I want to go through and just kind of walk through the tool so that you guys can have a look. So the first thing we have is, you know, our dashboard here. So you can see we've got everything written out in case you need to see what it stands for. I've got it memorized, so I'll talk through a little bit. We've got conversations. And so inside of your conversations, you're really going to have your recent conversations towards the top. So as you're communicating with people one-on-one or in group channels, you're going to be able to discuss things and quickly access things. You know, if you just had a conversation this morning, it's going to be towards the top. If it's a conversation from last week or last month, it's going to be, you know, towards the bottom. But we have a very intuitive search. And so if it is something from last month and you can't remember exactly what it was, you can search by keywords and find those conversations. Now, let's say you're new, which I am. I'm new to this, this demo board, and you wanted to find out what conversations are going on. So inside of our team book, you can actually search public conversations. And so you can see here we have a huge list of public conversations that are all ongoing. And so if I wanted to find out what's going on in a specific conversation, let's say I wanted to find out what's going on with the marketing team, I can go to that marketing team space. It starts me off at the bottom. I can scroll up a little bit and I can see what's been going on in the marketing team, and I can get it caught up on what's been going on in that channel. So this is great for all sorts of businesses. If you have public channels, they can be divided into departments. They can be divided into, you know, processes. So, you know, you can have step 1 through step 10. If you're doing projects, you know, you can have the group that's working on programming, the group that's working on design, the group that's working on sales. You can really kind of divide these into different categories, however you'd like. And you can have conversations going on inside of these public conversations, these spaces. So if somebody's missed something, they come here and they're caught right back up. And these conversations are happening in real time instead of waiting for Microsoft Outlook, with the spinning wheel to load and to send the email. And maybe it went to spam, maybe it didn't, who knows? So this is a way where you can have those conversations and really be up to speed. And if you miss something, you're out a day, you come back, you scroll back up, and you can read the whole history and really know what's going on. So also inside of our team book, we have task, and this is a really great feature. We're really excited about this. We have list view and we have Kanban view. And so these are things, you can come through and you can look at the task. You can select which person you want to see. So you can see it for the whole team, or you can just have a look at yourself and see, hey, what task do I need to get done? And so you can take a deep look at the task here. You can select a date. So if you want to see, hey, what tasks have been done between, the last week, the last month, you can have a look at that. You can look at due date. So if there were tasks in here that you would select a specific due date for, you can go through that. Also, you can look at the status. So here we have completed and incomplete. So if I just want to see the tasks that are incomplete, yet to be done, I can click this, and now I'm only looking at the task I have left to do and the things I have left to get done for that day, for that week, for that month. So this is a great way to view it in list. But then, like I said, we also have Kanban. So in the Kanban view, you can also create these columns, very similar to Trello or other apps out there, right? You can create these columns and work through your spaces like this. So if I'm in process of doing a webinar introduction, I can put it here, but Lindsay's already done that for us, so I'll go ahead and mark it as done. If I'm in the process of doing a Chanty introduction, I can put it here, and now my team members know, hey, Jared right now, he's in a webinar, he's doing a Chanty introduction. They can have a look at what I'm doing, what I'm working on. So this is a great way to work on those tasks and to go through and mark them as done as you're completing them. So we're really excited about this task feature. We're really excited about it because it's a newer feature for Chanty, and it's something we've been working on for a long time. But we think it's going to be really helpful because this, along with the channels, really helps a lot. So I'm going to go back to the conversations really quickly because I wanted to show you guys something that I think helps us stand out quite a bit. And that is the single click task assignment. So you'll see here there's a task assigned. You'll see here there's a task assigned is complete. But I could probably find something here that I wanted to assign a task to somebody for. So just conversation, simple, a message, something like this. I can go through and with one click, we have a native, task assignment built in. So you're not having to connect Asana, you're not having to connect some other, to-do, tick, or whatever. You're not having to connect some other process. You're not having to come down here and type, /to-do at team, this date. You're not having to type a line of code to create a task. It's just a single hover and click solution. So you can hover over this, hi, how are you? Well, that's something weird to make a task, but we can make it a task. And so we can then assign that task to ourselves, or we can come through and say, no, actually, you know what? That's going to be a good task for Fred. Fred really needs to get that done. He needs to get it done by Friday. And so now we have a task assigned for Fred for hi, how are you? But this task, this single click task assignment is great. And then once you've put those tasks in, you can see it in your task activity. You can see that I created this task here for Fred, gave it a due date, but also we can see it in our task list. I can come over here and I can look and see what Fred's up to. And so when I click on Fred, hi guys, how are you? I can see that I've assigned him this task and it's due September 11th. It's due this Friday. So there's a few different ways to be able to create and assign those tasks. Another way to create a task is under our new section. So under our new section, if you're going through creating a list, if you don't want to search or if you don't want to hover to find a task to create one, you can come here. And this is where you can really nail out, let's say you've planned your whole week for you, for your team, for your group, for your, for your whole company. Let's say you've planned out tasks you really want to get done. You can change the priority level. You can change the due date. You can assign them to, different people. And then you can, enter the title up here and add new task. And that's going to show up for your team to be able to see that task. And they'll get a notification as well that they've been assigned a task by you. So let me get back to the team book and keep going just a little bit more. So after public conversations, we have private conversations. I don't have any right now. a super secret project. So we can create a private conversation since we don't have one. And I'll create one with Anastasia. And the conversation will just be a Chanty demo. And so this is a conversation that nobody else can view, not even the administrators can view. This is a conversation that's just between two team members to discuss with each other, something specific, something that's going on. So I can write here in the conversation, and I've created a new conversation, and look, it's going to show up here under my messages under recents, like I talked about at the beginning. So after private conversations, we have calls. So with these audio calls, you're going to be able to make a phone call with a team member. Another feature we have that I think really stands out is our voice recording. So same thing in my private message here. I can actually click this voice recording button, and I can say, I'll give permissions. And I can say, hey, Anastasia, hope everything's going good. I'll click send. And now this audio is going to upload and send to her. So now she's got this 3-second recording that I've sent to her as an audio. So if you're out on the run, you're out on the go, maybe you want to send something that's 10,000 words and you don't really feel like typing a novel and clicking send, you can actually just click record, say everything you have to say, click send, and it's going to send it either to one person, to a group, to a channel, wherever you initiate that voice recording, you'll be able to send it. But on top of those voice recordings, we have the audio calls, so you can actually call somebody directly. If you're writing back and forth and it's just not making sense, you're just not clicking, you can just click the call button inside that conversation, call them directly, or you can come here and start a call, type the name, and hit call. Pinned messages allow you to save, for you personally, maybe a message that's very important, something that you want to remember for the week, for the month, or for always. If it's some kind of specific thing that somebody's told you, maybe it's specific information about a certain process that's really detailed, and somebody sends you, hey, this is how we do it. Okay, well, you want to save that so that anytime you ever have to do that process, you can come back and look at it. Well, that's, once you've saved that, you can come to your pinned messages and you'll have a pinned message saved here to be able to go through. Shared files. We have here the whole team. So everyone that's been involved in here, every file that's been shared, we'll be able to actually scroll through and see it. So in our shared files, this is great. But if you just wanted to see a file that's been shared with you, this is all my participated, not participated. So, and we can search by type. So if we're like, hey, I don't remember what the name of that file was, but I remember it was a PDF, I can search specifically just for PDFs and find them. Or if I say, hey, I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was a code snippet, I can search and I can find it specifically. So being able to search by type is really great to be able to find, the exact file type you're looking for. If maybe you forgot the name or you forgot who sent it, this is a great way to do a search and actually find that specific file. If you just remember something about it, like it's a PDF, it's a Word doc, it's a code snippet, something like that. Same thing with shared links. So these are going to be, URLs that maybe somebody shared with us. Maybe it's something fun, maybe it's something interesting, funny, maybe it's something helpful like a blog. But same thing, if it's a website, if it's a URL or link that somebody shared with you, you could actually go through and see that. And then as an administrator, you're going to be able to see, the team activity feed. So I can see the voice message I created, the message I sent. I can see everything that's taken place today. I can go back and see everything that's taken place, over the last week. So you can really go through and see kind of what's your team doing, what are they working on, what tasks are they completing, how are these processes going. So this is kind of everything we have together in our team book. These are kind of all the options we have in our team book. We really like this because it's a really nice way to be able to work without having to do a lot of searching. If we only had the conversation section, it could be difficult. It could be challenging to find the conversation, find the specific person you're wanting to speak with. But because we have the team book, it makes it really easy to come here and just kind of search through, which conversations you want to be involved with, which private conversations have you had, pinned messages, important information, etc. So I want to come back to our marketing team channel because we do have a PDF in here. And I want to show you guys, you can open up these files native inside of our app, which is nice. Sometimes I can do that with Gmail. Sometimes I've got to, download it and open it. It's frustrating. So being able to open up the files natively inside of the web platform or the iPhone or Android platform, it's or if you have a Mac or PC, we have Chanty for everything. So being able to do that is great. So you can open it up native, you can have a look, you can scroll through the PDF. And this is a specific use case where we're talking about for restaurants using the Kanban to be able to schedule, having some scheduling apps that we can connect the APIs to. So this is a use case for restaurants, for restaurant teams. But like I said earlier, Chanty is really for any industry. But we like to make these presentations for specific industries so that people can have a look and see how it could really be a nice fit for their industry. And so in this case, it was for restaurants. So I wanted to share this with you guys, show you guys you can open these up native. And then let's keep going. So if you wanted to add new, we went over this a little bit earlier. So apps. These are some of the apps we have built in natively. Okay, so these are apps that we already have built in. API can already be connected. If there's something specific you're wanting to add that maybe is not here, Zapier is always a great solution. I don't know if you guys are super familiar with Zapier, but it's a great solution. Chanty is connected with Zapier. And so really the best way to use Chanty is to be able to have as many things as possible, as much information as possible, as many of your apps as possible connected to Chanty, and pushing that data into either public channels where everyone that's involved needs to see that information, or private channels, or maybe it's just for you, only you need to see it, but you don't want to be switching back and forth between 4 or 5 different applications, seeing notifications. You just want it all in one place. So this is going to save you a lot of time. It's going to prevent you from missing important information, important notifications. An example I can give for this is a property management company that I spoke with this week. They have rental properties, right? So they have tons of rental properties, vacation rental properties. I think they were down at the beach in Florida. Anyways, so, what they have, somebody registers or they book to stay the night. What happens when they book? An automated email is sent to the rental company. Well, what they're going to do now is they're actually going to forward those emails into Chanty. So if they wanted, a public channel, they could create a public channel, and this could be new bookings, right? And so who do we want in this channel? Well, you can put everybody who needs to be in there. So the maintenance team or the cleaning team who needs to prepare the room, they need to be involved. The administrative team who needs to make sure the payment has gone through, they need to be involved. So you can have everyone on the team that needs to be involved included in this channel. And then as they're included in the channel, once that email comes in automatically, they're going to see the notification. Okay, wow, yeah, we have a new booking. So can you check it in your email? Of course. But if you're checking email and checking Chanty and checking other apps, and if it's all spread out, it's just a lot of back and forth. And so for me personally, I like to have everything really narrowed in to where everything is coming into one single space. So that's a great way that you can use, Zapier. That's a great way that you can use the APIs to be able to actually, forward that information into Chanty so that you're able to have all of your important information all in one place. Now, as the manager of the space, okay, you also have the ability to manage the teams, okay? So if you have, 25 team members, if you have 25 seats, 21 to 25 are full. So I can add, up to 4 more people if I wanted to. So here's where you can come in, type an email, hit send invitation, and now you've added somebody into that seat. Guests, we're at 10 of 10. Multi-conversation guests, we still have 5 available. So you can come through here and do a little bit of management, or you can do a lot of management here. So if you come down to your personal photo, your name, your profile, if you come down here and click this and click manage team, this is really going to bring up everybody so that you can kind of access what's going on. So you can change their status, you can activate, you can delete. So you can kind of go through here and really manage the seats. So one thing that's nice too is, let's say you have a little bit of turnover going on in your company. Maybe, every month you're hiring 2 or 3 new people. Every month, 2 or 3 people are quitting, or, they need to be let go, or they find another job, or they move, who knows what. But if you have a little bit of turnover, maybe 1, 2, 3 seats a month, what you can do is you can come through here, you can actually remove that seat, and then you can send, a new invitation to allow somebody else to take that seat. You don't have to continually add new seats and anything frustrating like that. You have permissions and roles. So you can set up here who can do what, who can access what, who can change what. So this is really important if you want to make, if you want to have a good control on what's going on, who can create integrations. We have everybody, so admin, participants, guests, multi-guest. But if maybe you only wanted integrations to be done by the admin only, well, now we can uncheck participants, uncheck guests and multi-guests, and now only the administrator can create integrations. So any of these features like this, you can kind of go through and really control what would make the most sense for your team, your industry, the way you guys are going to use Chanty. But this gives you a lot of control over what's going on. You can find conversations, things that are going on. This is the billing, so you can set up your billing here. You can see your history. You can see your payment method. So this is where you would handle that. But you guys are doing the lifetime plan, so that doesn't really apply to you. And then here you can import data, export data. So this can be from other platforms. You may see on our website, we have the ability to import data from other applications. Let's say you're using something like Slack or any other team collaboration, MS Teams, something like that. You want to take that data, you want to import it. This can be a great way to move your files, your conversations, your channels over to us. As I mentioned before, we've got downloads for pretty much everything. So Windows, Mac, Debian, Fedora, iOS, Android. So, we have the ability to have the app as well. And I'm using our web. So I'm just on Google Chrome right now, using the web version. I like the web version of Google Chrome a lot. I also have it on my Android phone. So those are kind of my preferred ways to use it. Appearance, you may have noticed that I have the dark theme on. We also have a light theme. So if you like burning your retinas, you can switch to the light theme. If not, we'll just keep it on the dark theme. Let's see what else. There was one more thing I was going to show you, which is the active times, so notifications. We have the notifications bell here, where if you just want to quickly snooze notifications, like maybe you've got something you got to work on, you're doing a 1-hour sprint, 2-hour sprint, going into a conference call, maybe the first half of your morning is just absolutely full. If you want to snooze your notifications, you can, 4 hours, 8 hours for the whole day. So this is a quick access, but over here, you can also turn notifications off for a specific time period. So this is really nice. If you say, hey guys, I really don't want to be contacted after 5 p.m. I'm done with work. I only want to be contacted, So what we do is we have it silent. So instead of saying these are my working hours, from 8 to 5, we have a silence hours. So it's same concept, but basically we're just muting the app from 5 p.m. until 8 a.m. the next morning. So this way, your working hours are just between 8 and 5, but your silence hours are between 5 p.m. and 8 a.m. the next morning. So you can set this up to make sure that nobody's getting that as well. You can, all new messages, maybe you've got a very active team, very happy, writing all the time, and you're just getting buzz, 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 buzz. So you can actually set it up and say, hey, I only want messages if they're using ad mentions. So if they're saying, at Jared Sales or at here or at team, okay, well then I probably need to see it. But if it's just people talking back and forth, I don't need to see every message, every notification. And if you're going in, let's say you're coding and you just don't want to talk to people at all, you can click nothing and say, everybody leave me alone. I've got stuff to do this week. So we have some very flexible notification settings here, which is great. And I think that's pretty much everything that I could go through with the app. It's good to add your position. It's good to add a photo. We have some nice default photos, but I think it's nice when everyone has a photo on there so everyone can kind of see who you are. And they can, memorize what your icon looks like. But if you use Iron Man, you can see that as well. So I think that does it for me for kind of covering everything we have with the platform and everything that's possible. I think Lindsay, you said to kind of let you know once we kind of covered everything, bring you back in.
Ready? Let's do it. All right, Sumolings, we are going to do the Q&A portion of this webinar. You can go ahead and leave your questions in the Q&A box. I'm going to, the people are requesting to see the team member view. Can you do that for us?
So instead of the admin view, the team member view?
Yeah. They specifically this person asks, what does a team member see after she logs in? So yeah, I guess they just want to see.
Yeah. Let me bring Anastasia in on this because I would have to have somebody else change my permissions for it to change my view. I can't do it. I can't do it to myself. But I can kind of talk through this, and maybe Anastasia can help me out as well. But
or if you could tell us the differences, maybe, or what they don't see. Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't see history timeline. So this is the history timeline here. This is only going to be for admins, right? And then the other thing is this managed team gear. This is not here at all. So when you're just a team member, it's just from profile down. So profile and account, notifications, appearance, password, logout. That's what they'll see, but they will not see this managed team feature at all. So the timeline and the management are really kind of what's missing. The other thing is here, people, this option is not available for regular team members. So those three options you're only going to see as the admin or the owner of the team space. Regular team members will not have the ability to edit or change anything with that.
Yeah, I totally agree and confirm. So this is the only exceptions. A common member sees. So if we are talking about the guest user, of course, there will be even more restrictions. So this user will be able to see only the conversation where he or she is invited to. And probably this is it. So just to remind that guest users are not able to set up either tasks or calls themselves, but they can be assigned to these activities. So yes, they have even the level up of restrictions. This is why they're called guest users.
Yeah, so we have the single channel guest users. So this is great if you have a vendor or a client that you just need to bring into one channel specifically to coordinate with. And then we have the multi-channel guest users who are going to have pretty much the same experience as a regular user, but they're on a temporary basis. They're just a guest. They wouldn't be a permanent member that's going to be there every month.
Cool. Thank you for talking us through all that. Streamlines, if you have follow-up questions there, let us know, of course. Whoa, that's a long question. Hang on one second. Came in before that. What's the difference between the browser version versus the Windows 10 app? I use the Windows 10 app because there's no need to verify with a security code each time, but is there another difference there?
No. So pretty much the view and the content, everything's very, very similar. It's very much the same. So what they're talking about as far as the verification, that's just something we do to keep it secure. But yeah, what he's saying is correct. Yeah, if you wanted to use it from your Windows browsers, Windows 10 app, so that you don't have to verify every time, you can do that. So that's going to make it a little easier. I think also on the phone, maybe Anastasia can also help me out with this, but also on the phone, I don't think you have to verify every single time. Is that right, Anastasia?
No, you don't have to verify, especially when you set up a permanent code. I mean the permanent password, sorry, which is synced through all your apps. But if we are talking about the mobile applications, there is no possibility to upgrade your team space to the business plan. This is more about our standard business plan. So this is made just as a common practice for all our competitors and for technical reasons, so you can upgrade only on web or desktop.
Yeah. So for upgrading, web or desktop, but yeah, you can fully use the app on your phone, iPhone, Android, and have full access.
Somebody identified themselves as the anonymous person that's been asking questions. So Juan asked this question, but I imagine that this is something that y'all get all the time. I usually don't name competitors, but this feels like a question you get all the time. How would you compare Chanty to Slack?
Absolutely.
This person is specifically asking, they're asking about things like storage, if you want to talk a little bit about that. They want to know about key functionalities for small businesses, where they might be different. This is the long question. I'm going to summarize it all.
It's a good summary.
Yeah, they're also curious about the Slack free version versus, so not necessarily a paid Slack. But free
Right.
Slack.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
So free Slack only gives you a limited conversation history, and they start cutting it. They give you limited file storage. They start cutting it, and it's a pretty low limit, if I remember. I don't know their exact numbers, but it's limited. So we have a free in our free version. We have unlimited conversation history, so we're not going to cut you. We also give 20 gigabytes of storage in our free version for the whole team. Which I think is more than, if you have a Gmail account, I think it's like 15 gigabytes. So it's pretty generous on free storage, I think. Once you get over to the paid version, so each member gets 20 gigabytes. So if you have 10 team members, you now have 200 gigabytes of storage space. So it changes significantly once you have the paid version. Other differences that we have versus Slack, we have unlimited integrations. Slack starts to ding you a little bit after you get over 10. We have single sign-on, like Anastasia was mentioning. Slack's going to charge you for that. So there's a few differences there. In functionality, I mentioned this earlier, but if I want to add a task, okay, and I have this in my deck. But if I want to add a task to Anastasia, can you answer this question? If I want to add this task to Anastasia, I just click this button, click here, type in her name, and the task is done. With
That's
Slack,
a really awesome feature. I love
it's a fantastic feature because with Slack, with the free and the paid version, you're going to have to actually go into apps. And you're going to have to, okay, I want to add, Asana. I'm going to have to click install. Okay, so I want to connect the app, install. You're going to have to do all this. And then Asana costs money too. So now you're paying your Slack monthly fee, your Asana monthly fee, and it's all of this just to add a task. So ours is kind of native built in, so there's no extra cost. It comes with the free version, comes with the paid version. So that's a really big bonus, I think. And then the final functionality that we have versus Slack is Slack does not have voice messaging. And I've used Slack before, of course. I've used Slack before. I've been in Teams, and I hate because I'm moving quite a lot. I'm moving quite a lot. I'm out and about. I'm walking, and so when I need to respond to somebody and I'm walking, I hate having to pull the phone up, look down, and I'm walking and trying to type a response. I just want to hit the voice button and say, hey, yeah, absolutely, that sounds great. Let's call them this afternoon at 2 p.m. Send. So if you have teams that are on the go, it just makes sense to have voice messaging. It's very helpful.
Yeah, definitely. I really like that as well. Sean wants to know, is there sorry about her. Is there a benefit to adding Asana or integrating with Asana? Or
yeah, it's a good question. So yes and no. If you're really wanting to get into very deep project management, I would say there's still maybe some benefits to Asana, but yeah, kind of our hope is that you don't need Trello, you don't need Asana, you don't need Monday, you don't need all these other project management tasks anymore if you're using Chanty. Really a lot of people, I've talked with companies where their tech spend is anywhere from $30 per person per month, all the way up to $200 per person per month because they have 10 apps. So what we're trying to do is really eliminate a lot of the extra spend to where everything can kind of be done in one place. So we're constantly updating, we're constantly adding new features. Hopefully I'll let this out here just for the AppSumo crowd. You guys will hear it here first, but hopefully we'll have our video calls very, very soon. And that will be something where you won't need Zoom anymore because we'll have internal video calls, one-on-one, internal group calls, but also external video calls. So, you can be talking with guests. So that's going to be something really nice because that's also something that'll be included in our business version. So
that's amazing.
So we're excited about that. Yeah, we're excited about that.
This is great. Yeah. We're getting some compliments coming in. They're loving the simple project management aspect of it. And yeah, this sounds great. It sounds like maybe you're, taking over the entire tech industry, but that's fine.
Well, it'll be a nice uphill battle. It'll be a nice uphill battle, but we're very excited. I mean, this is something. So our owner, he created this because he was doing. It's funny. It's always how it works, right? When you start a business, you have the idea first, and then if you don't act on it right away. So he had this idea in 2013, and Slack came out in 2014.
Of course,
and he's like,
did.
oh man, yeah, of course. So, but he was thinking about it, planning, all of this, and so in 2017 he decided we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Let's make it happen. Let's do it. So. This is something that he's been thinking about. He's very strategic. He's very good at planning, and so he kind of put it together in his mind what he wanted to build for a couple of years, and then when he was ready, he said, "Let's do it." And so, we're building it, and I love his attitude too. He's constantly, and we appreciate everybody's feedback. I'm not reading anything, but I'll look at it later. But he's the kind of owner that he likes to get in the customer service calls because he wants to know how can we make it better. And he constantly shares with us, hey, what do you see that we could do to improve? What do you see we could change to make it better? And so I really like that philosophy and that mentality with the app because you see constant updates and constant improvements. Because there's other apps out there where I check it, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years later, and it's the same app. They haven't changed anything. So
nobody's working on it. They've moved on.
Yeah.
It's just you.
Yeah, graveyard apps.
That's wonderful. And thank you for telling us about that. I know Sumolings love to know, who's behind these products.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice to know that there's a good, thoughtful, it sounds, I love a good strategy. I love not winging it and being thoughtful about stuff. I think that's the way to do it. So that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Juan has a follow-up question about storage space. The deal page says, and I'm not looking at the deal page, so I'm taking Juan's word for this. 30 gigabytes of file storage per team. It's not by team members.
Okay. Yeah. So I think this could be with the AppSumo deal. I think we have different package sizes. I think we have a few different package sizes. So that may be the package size that he's looking at or the package size he's talking about. Yeah,
it looks like it looks like that number grows. So okay, no, this makes sense. So it's 2 gigabytes per person, and the single, if you get 30 gigabytes of file storage, you get 15 team members. So that's how it's written here. It's not written out as the 2 gigabytes per person, but if you multiply the number of team members.
Right. Yeah. The math coordinates to
the math is there. I'm not, math is not my thing, but this one I got.
Hey, the math checks out. Math
checks out. All right, we have somebody super eager. Can we use separate codes for separate businesses?
What do they mean by codes? I want to understand that better. Separate
I'm going to
codes.
guess the stacking. So if they get 2 codes, can they use one of those codes for one account so that they have the 15 team members, the 30 gigabytes over here, and then they have another account and they use the other code? Different logins, I'm guessing. Different.
Yeah. I'll let Anastasia answer that one. The answer is yes. I just don't know if we can do it immediately or if they need to email us privately. But Anastasia, what's the answer on that one?
Frankly speaking, the answer is no, because
the answer is no. Okay.
No. First of all, you can go 2 ways. So when you create the team space, you can have different codes, so up to 3 codes. But for only one team space, if you want to have, I don't know, maybe more perks, you can sign up with another team space or create another team space and get more codes. But you can't share the already bought codes between different team spaces. This is
But if they wanted to have 2 team spaces and 2 different codes, they could do it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
If somebody has 2 AppSumo accounts, they clarified with saying AppSumo accounts. If they have, it sounds like they understand. If they have multiple AppSumo accounts, I think they figured it out.
Yeah.
If you didn't figure it out, let me know, Sean. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Cool. Those are all the questions that we have here. I'm going to give Sumolings like a second to tell me if they've come up with any questions. They usually do. I got it. Thanks. You're very welcome. I think people are happy.
Cool.
People aren't saying anything. All right, I'm done stalling. Oh,
great. One more.
The clarification is Sumoling business account.
AppSumo business account.
I'm wondering if like this person has 2 AppSumo accounts, if they will there be an offer for Sumoling business account?
Okay, so if the person has already created the team space on AppSumo and he wants to have a 20% discount on business plan, actually to switch to the business plan, you should give up with AppSumo offer.
Okay.
This is the story. Or you can have, as far as I know, you can have 20% discount since you're from AppSumo deal, and
Right.
still you would be switched to the all complete full business plan with the sweet discount.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's right, Anastasia. I think that's what Dimitri had said. So I think that's right. Yeah, that sounds right.
I know I'm supposed to understand this better than I do, but you guys are speaking gibberish. The BD team as a whole. Lorenzo wants to know, where can we see the business plan offers?
Business plan offers. I think we put that, Anastasia, didn't we put that on our page on AppSumo?
I need to double check it, but of course
Okay.
you can find Chanty landing page in the internet.
Right.
Google
Yeah,
it
you can just go
simply,
to
and we have a
chanty.com.
pricing page. Yeah, chanty.com, and we have a dedicated pricing page where all our functionality as well as pricing is displayed in detail.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that for everybody. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. So Sumolings, if you have not already, you can go to appsumo.com/Chanty. You can redeem your code right now, starting at just $69 for a lifetime deal. We've already talked. Once you stack, you get more team members, you get more storage space, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, once you have gotten your deal, we'd love to hear how it's working for you. You can go ahead and leave those comments also on the deal page. And if you have any further questions, I am sorry that we didn't get to them today, but you can, of course, leave those questions on the deal page as well. Thank you, Anastasia, for answering everybody's questions. Thank you, Jared, for walking us through everything.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Lindsay. We appreciate it. We're really excited about this. Glad to be a part of it. And we're looking forward to hearing from everyone and working together with everyone. So appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Pleasure to have you. Everybody saying thank you. All right. Awesome. Thank you all. Have a good one.
Bye.